Well, howdy do. Well, I finally made it to this growler. I was trying to get through some of that urban chestnut stuff. I finished off the Doppelbock. This is their Shadow Rock Stout. I've had it there at the brewery, and I've enjoyed it. But I wanted to have a full growler of it, because sometimes things change when you have, several of the same thing in concession. It sometimes hits you different. This is more or less a foreign export style stout. It runs right about 8%. I don't know the IBUs, but it feels pretty hoppy. The nose is monstrous chocolate. Didn't say predominantly dark. I'm going to guess about a 60%-ish is how it comes across, because there's a tad bit of sweetness, but not milk chocolate sweetness. There's also a little bit of coffee that accentuates it. It's not intensely hopped, but there is some hoppage going on. But it does have the feel of a big dry or a foreign export style stout, because it doesn't have that lingering sweetness you get from an imperial stout. The ABV is right in line with a foreign export style. Again, I don't know what the IBUs are. They tend not to go crazy with IBUs at that brewery, so I'm going to be surprised if it's more than 60. Actually, I'm going to be surprised if it's more than 50. But the way it dries up so nice, I'm going to take a shot in the dark and guess at about 55. Because it dries up beautifully. This is nice. It is one of my favorites. Every time I bought it because, this is a seasonal for them. I don't know how much longer they're going to have it before they move on to something else. And I knew we were going to be rather cold this weekend. I thought it would be a perfect beer for me to have. I went with a Doppelbock and this, so I went with, more or less winter selections to my way of thinking anyways. I do like the folks there at White River. I keep missing the brewer. I've met him before. I've used to run into him all the time many years ago when he was brewing for a place called Hickox here in Springfield. I saw him, you see him at a lot of the beer fests when he was working with a distributor here in town. He's just a great brewer. He's just somebody who's been around town. It's kind of a bit of a local legend. Danny, the bartender down at White River, is great. She's very friendly and knows her beer. Alonzo out there, I don't know exactly what all his function is, but he seems to handle the media and all the social media aspect. I don't know what all else he does. But again, he's very familiar with beer and the beer they do as well. And I think everybody out there that I've talked to is really working on, working on their branding, getting them out there. So I mean, it's just it's a nice tap room. It's fun. It's friendly, and I recommend folks, stopping in. And there's a glass. I love the Belgian glass, so there you go. And as my my beer buddy John Starodumsky says, the best glass to put a beer in, well, is their own logo glass. It always tastes better when you use the right glass. So I'm Tony the Beer Whisperer. This is a Shadow Rock Stout. That's a growler, and I'll see you later.